Hello and welcome again to Arch Eats. I'm George Mahey, and with me is my dear friend, accomplished food writer, and willing catcher's mitt when I rant and when I rave.
This is Cheryl Bear.
And today we get to break some restaurant news, which we love to do. We're going to announce the opening date of a place we've had our eye on, and we're both really excited about because it's brand new to St. Louis. And truth be told, it's two concepts under one roof, so we're doubly excited. We'll get the lowdown from Anthony Wang, the 23-year-old owner of Sakatanoya Revolving Sushi and Ramen Bar, which also has a cocktail component. And we'll rant for a minute about cocktail menus in restaurants. But first, it's what we can't stop thinking about this week. Cheryl?
George,
Ladies first.
This sounds like the most boring thing ever. I'm going to tell you that I'm enamored with a bowl of mixed vegetables. You're thinking, what are you
Especially after hearing
talking
about a revolving sushi restaurant.
I know. But I promise you, these are not merely mixed vegetables, even though that's what it says on the menu. There's a new-ish restaurant called Pali Grill. It's along Page Avenue. It is a wonderful Middle Eastern restaurant. It's a Palestinian restaurant. They do shawarma. They do kebabs, all sorts of goodies. But their appetizer that I would have slept on had it not been for a friend who said, no, we're ordering this. Fried mixed vegetables. Now, I'm thinking, are they battered? Are they what? Basically, they take cauliflower, eggplant, and zucchini. They are pan-fried and then saturated in olive oil, za'atar, and other seasonings. They're not broken down to the point where they're spreadable, but they are very tender and caramelized around the edges and basically soaked in this flavored olive oil. I could not stop eating them, especially the eggplant. I am just bananas for these. It is the most craveable vegetable that I have had in recent memory. I'm in love.
It's interesting is you've been there and I was there in the last week too, and they've got chicken wings there, and their chicken wings are seasoned every different way, and they're really tasty. I like them because they're the smaller wings, which has a better sauce to meat ratio than those big wings. So I really like the chicken wings there too. There's a lot to love at Pali Grill.
There is. It's such a fun place.
And I'm going to completely switch gears. I'm going to plug somebody else's podcast today. It's called Theme Machine. Every week, I'm a guest on John Carney's Restaurant Tuesday show on KTRS, which he's been doing forever. And he recently rolled out a podcast called Theme Machine, which is culled from the interviews of his 4 decades on St. Louis radio. This week's iteration, and here's where we come in, is called simply Food. And it includes interviews with 11 bastions of the restaurant industry. You may have heard of some of these guys: Jacques Pepin, Anthony Bourdain, Danny Meyer, Alton Brown, Guy Fieri, Ruth Reichel, Paul Prudhomme.
Good grief,
Superstars.
George.
Carney could have done an episode on each one of these, but his premise is themes. So instead, he took the best parts from each of these interviews and presents them in one themed episode. So what he did is picked the perfect snippets from each one. So each one of these is really like, oh, that was good. Oh, I never knew that. I just love this whole premise. His other Theme Machine subjects include sitcoms, The Kennedys. He's done one on Woodstock, The Things That Went Wrong, and one titled simply Sex.
Of course.
Cheryl is snickering over there, but start with that one if you want to, but definitely tune into John Carney's food episode. Before we introduce our guest, a reminder that tickets to the next St. Louis Supper Club go on sale in early November, and they're announced in the Dining Out newsletter. These Supper Club restaurants are all top tier, all chosen by Cheryl and me, and the location is kept secret until the morning of the event, and you don't know the menu until you sit down. We just love this whole thing. The price includes a 5-course meal and cocktails and wine and beer and complimentary valet. And the most important part is the tickets sell out very, very quickly. So sign up for the Dining Out newsletter at stlmag.com/newsletters to get on board that fun bus. Plus, Dining Out is a darn good newsletter, if I do say so myself.
I mean, it's pretty awesome, George.
Okay, we're on to our guest and the breaking news. Anthony Wang is the owner of Sakatanoya Revolving Sushi and Ramen Bar, a new concept for St. Louis. So we have so many questions. What's especially exciting is that Cheryl and I, Mr. and Mrs. Restaurant Know-It-All in St. Louis, know nothing about you, but we all soon will. Welcome, Anthony, to Arch Eats.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. First, thank you for introducing St. Louis to something different, but let's back up a little bit. You're only 23, but this isn't your first restaurant.
Right.
I hear it's somewhere other than Missouri. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Yeah, it's in Iowa, Des Moines.
And what kind of restaurant? Is it like this restaurant is going to be?
No, it's just a classic regular sushi restaurant with no other special things
And when did you start that restaurant?
in 2021.
So you've already got 4 years under your belt.
Right.
Wow. So you started that at 19.
Yes, but my first business is actually 13, 16. So my first business
Really?
is actually doing the fashions.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, we heard about that. We heard your background isn't even the restaurant industry. What is your background? Can you describe that to us? Then I'm sure we'll get into how you even made the transition to this world, but I'm fascinated by your design background.
Right. So I have to talk about my family first. So
Mhm.
my parents and my parents-in-law, they are all doing restaurants for decades. So it's like a legacy, family legacy to me.
Okay.
Restaurants here or somewhere else?
Someone else. My parents opened a restaurant in California. And my
Okay.
parents-in-law, they opened a restaurant back to China, Inner Mongolia. They're Mongolians.
Wow.
Right.
I always love these stories of people whose families have these long legacies in the restaurant industry, and they either go one way or the other. They follow immediately in the family's footsteps, or they say, I am never working in a restaurant. I want to be as far away as possible. Was that your experience, like
Right.
growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my family are doing the restaurants, I say I don't want to grow up to open a restaurant, so I choose to do the design or something. But it turns the design is just so hard. I mean, especially after the COVID, all the fashion things are getting more complicated to do.
So you ended up where you didn't think you would in the restaurant business. But didn't you live in Japan for a minute too?
Right. Because of the fashion companies, I have a chance to live in Japan or work in Japan. So that experience eventually gave me a chance to open the eyes to look at the Japanese culture, and which later impressed me to interest to open a Japanese cuisine.
What was it about Japanese restaurant culture that you found so interesting that really excited you when you were there? Was it the food? Was it the design? Was it all of it?
So
Mhm.
Japanese food culture compared with United States are a lot different. It's
Mhm.
so different. You can see like some of the Japanese owners, they only own a small restaurant, so they can actually make better food served to everybody. But in the United States, mostly just like fast foods or like some steakhouse or something, you
Mhm.
can make that really fast and serve to the customers. In Japan, they're sitting there almost all day.
You're doing a very interesting concept here. Let's start with the name. What is Sakatanoya? Am I even saying that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Sakatanoya.
Okay. What does it mean?
So the name Sakatanoya actually come from my Japanese name. So I used to live in Japan using that name. So Sakata is my name, and Noya means house in Japanese. So together, Sakatanoya simply means like
Ah.
Sakata's house or Sakata's restaurant.
Makes perfect sense.
Also, if you look at the logo, you'll notice that the logo is designed based on my face.
So this restaurant that is your house, which I love that. Tell us about it. It is something totally different here in St. Louis. This is a revolving or conveyor belt style. I've heard it described a couple different ways, but the whole idea is that the food comes to you in this very interesting way. Tell us about the concept and what this is all about.
Okay, so we specially designed and import a massive custom built system from China. So it's like 2-layer conveyor belt
Oh my
that runs
gosh.
continually from the kitchen to every table in the restaurant. So the first belt carries a constant flows of sushi plates around the dining area. Guests can simply take what they like and as they pass by.
I see.
So it's almost kind of a similar idea to like dim sum. Stuff comes around, you grab what you want, you pass on what you're not interested in.
Right, but the dim sum are the human, and
Yeah.
we just change that as a machine and from
Wow.
the dim sum to sushi. But the difference is we actually have a second level, which is the most proud of. So the second floor gonna deliver the fresh make orders and hot dishes directly from the kitchen to the table,
I
to
see.
your table. You can order that from the iPad.
I see. So the top layer is just sushi coming at you, and you can grab what you want. But what's on the second tier is things you have ordered from the kitchen.
Yes.
How do you know what to grab? And you go, wait, I think that looks like my ramen bowl, and you grab it?
The express car will only stop at the position.
I love that. This is
Dang.
really cool.
This is like something out of like a science fiction or some futuristic movie.
Did you pattern this after a similar restaurant? I mean, I've heard of these. I know we don't have one here, but I think these revolving
Mhm.
sushi restaurants, they exist in other places. The technology exists because you bought it.
Right. So honestly, revolving sushi isn't a brand new concept in Asia. So it's
Mhm.
something quite common in Japan. So I did study many sushi restaurants to understand how they operated. But when I created Sakatanoya, I didn't want to just copy and paste
Right.
what
Mhm.
exact
Right.
already exists. So I inspiration from the Japanese model and then reimagine it for like American culture.
So, talk about the restaurant. I know these conveyor belts exist, but when you walk through the door, is it light wood? Is it dark? Is it moody? How would you describe what guests can experience from a design standpoint?
So for the design, all the design are designed by my own self. So our whole restaurant will be like dark.
And will there be pieces on the walls that you designed?
Yeah, yes. Our logo is gonna be there. Have lots of lights on the wall. It's gonna be a little bit bright, but not
Mhm.
going too low.
Sure.
So it's a whole different as a other Japanese restaurant. Because most of Japanese restaurants they are just like a wood stuffs and like
Mhm.
more Japanese styles. But for this one, I say it's my own style.
And you moved from Des Moines. Were you living in Des Moines working at this restaurant?
Yes.
But you ended up here. Why St. Louis? I mean, we're honored that you're here doing this. Why did you choose St. Louis and why open this restaurant on the Loop?
Okay, so honestly, it wasn't really what I choose St. Louis.
Mhm.
Is that it feels like just St. Louis chose me. So my concept has already been bring creative, forwarding thinking ideas to cities what are open for something new. But so I actually traveled across the U.S. to explore different possibilities.
Yeah.
But when I walk down Delmar Street, I have an instant feeling. It feels like a voice inside my head said, "This is the place. You have to
Oh,
grab that. You have to open a restaurant over
That
here."
gives me
I love
goosebumps.
it.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Oh,
The
so
honest, actually, the strangely enough, the middle three digit of my phone number is exactly the same St. Louis area code. So I think this is probably a destiny guide me here.
what do you think it was about the Del Mar Loop? Do you think it was there are a lot of students there? It has an international feel to it. What do you think you really loved about it?
So our target customers are mostly college
Mhm.
students because they can accept the new thing very fast.
Mhm.
They love the new things, and revolving sushi absolutely is new stuff to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So which is good to me. And also, a whole Dharma Road have lots of Asian
Mhm.
cuisines. So Japanese cuisine definitely is also Asian cuisine too.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. More and more Asian places have opened along the Del Mar Loop in the last year than in the last 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
They're just everywhere. So, yeah, you should feel right at home. Is this a lunch and dinner or is this just dinner only? What are the days and hours for Sakatanoya?
So we are open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday, and have a break from 3 to 5. But
Oh,
on a weekend, we only open from 12 to 9 p.m. non-break. And after in the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have all you can drink after 10.
Yeah.
we're going to get to that bar concept part in a moment. But first, let's talk about the food. Let's talk about exactly what you're serving there.
Yeah, we're really excited to hear about the menu because so far everyone's been talking about the way that the food gets to the table, and that's such an exciting part. But tell us about the food itself. Is it going to be substance to the style? Meaning, can we expect really high quality food? We understand you have a chef who's here doing this that you're really excited about. Just talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, our head chef is really shy. So believe me, he is absolutely obsessed with the food. He has been a head chef for more than 20 years,
Wow.
working China, Japan, and United States. I'll say even Gordon Ramsay will had a hard time to beat him. If he ever been to the Hell's Kitchen, the TV show, I'm pretty sure he'll walk away with a floor fee.
Nice. That's a bold statement. Tell us about the sushi. Tell us about other dishes that we can expect on the menu.
So for the sushis, we have a creative thing called a sushi sandwich. So we already have those pictures in the Google Maps.
Mhm.
And I can't really tell you how it's gonna taste because you have to taste by yourself.
Right.
But we have another creation about ramens. So for example, the ramen, most of ramen places in the United States are pretty standard. Usually
Mhm.
just same pork bone broth with a few different toppings like
Right.
shrimp or scallops. But in Japan, there's over 100 different styles of ramen. and getting more every single year.
Wow.
So we decided to break away from the usual pattern. So instead of using the classic pork bone broth, we created our own beef bone broth.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. And we're going to combine it with regional Chinese flavor elements to craft multiple unique ramen broths.
So how many
Delicious.
different ramen broths will you have?
We're going to have 4 different ramens.
So it's a complete ramen house then too, right? But you also said, didn't I hear somewhere you're going to do some different things like some donburi and some yakitori type items? And when we talked before, you said we're going to do some, and I think Japanese street food. You said things are happening in Japan really fast, things that haven't been seen yet here, right?
Right. We have a special yakitoris too and the donburis. So we also have a combined Japanese food and some Italian food together, like a pastas. We're going to have a uni pastas or lots of different kind of pastas.
Is that something that's seen in Japan right now, or is that something that you just made up?
Well, something new in Japan and also something I made of.
We alluded to the cocktail program earlier. So when the sushi bar closes for the evening, does the conveyor belt deliver drinks too?
Yes. So in the all-you-can-drink night, all the drinks are coming from the conveyor belt. Instead of sushi in the late night, we're just going to have the cocktails inside.
Oh my goodness. And same thing as with the sushi. You see a cocktail that looks good and you take that.
Yeah, just grab that.
And you said this is an all-you-can-drink bar. Instead of ordering each individual, it's all you can drink. How does that work? Do people pay a certain amount per hour, or how do you charge for something like that?
So we're going to charge 30 plus per person for whole night.
Okay. $30 per person for the cocktails.
For the cocktails, yes.
So there's no time limit. So that's for the whole night. Does that open at 10 p.m. though? When does that all you can drink part start?
From 10 to 2.
Okay.
So
10
4 hours.
4 hours.
Does it scare you, the idea of doing all you can drink? Are you worried people are going to get a little rowdy or
Tipsy?
wild?
I'm a party guy. I
Yeah.
love to party, especially in New York.
I love
Everybody
it.
party every night.
Yeah.
So I'm also really into the rave culture. So to me, electronic music, alcohol, and parties are 3 things that cannot be separated.
So music will be a big component of this as well.
Right.
So what types of drinks will we see on this conveyor belt? Will it be standard drinks or will there be frozen drinks? Talk about what we might see going by.
So during the all-you-can-drink hours, we will mainly save the batched cocktails on the conveyor belt. But if you want to order some individual handcraft cocktails, you can still order that through our express card from the iPad.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be a separate thing.
And those will come on the lower tier of the conveyor belt.
Yes.
The custom cocktails that
Right.
you order, just like the custom food.
Yes.
I'm beginning to get it now. I think I understand.
We'll have to go practice sometime, George, if we really want the full picture.
Oh,
We'll have
practice.
to go there.
So I saw on a rendering that there was an actual bar with about 12 seats or so.
Yes.
And what happens there? Can you eat sushi and ramen there also?
Yes, you can also eat over there.
But you'd have to order it because
Set.
the conveyor's
Yes.
behind you.
Right. So
So-
you have to order. We have a little robots gonna send it to you.
Oh, I love that. So that robot will deliver to the bar.
Yes.
I love all this.
This is the coolest place on earth.
Yeah.
I am so excited for this. People are going crazy already. And I think the more they know about this, they're going to be even more excited. Have you heard people talk about how excited they are? What are people saying so far as you tell them about this?
So actually, since I post on Google Maps, I'm taking calls, like at least 2 calls per day. So
Wow.
everybody asking when you're gonna open. I'm so excited about it. That actually gives me lots of confidence to open a restaurant.
Mhm.
That means a lot to me.
How many seats in this restaurant?
So
Yeah.
maximum is 140 people. We got 26 booths.
So 26 booths, basically 2 sets of conveyors
Mhm.
and a robot going around delivering things to the bar. I mean, I just have a great visual for this. And electronic music playing, right?
Yes, we're gonna have live music after 10 p.m.
Like DJ.
DJs.
So all of this sounds like something we've never seen here in St. Louis. This is such an exciting new concept. I'm wondering, though, has there been anything about the St. Louis food scene that excites you? You came here and you were looking for a place to open. You saw the Loop. You thought that was really nice. What about St. Louis has impressed you? Have you enjoyed your time here so far?
Yes, I think the food culture in St. Louis is just like his history. So it's like unique, brilliant, and sincere. And we have lots of high-level restaurants over here, like omakase is here.
Yeah.
You also have lots of like low levels, like sushi ice.
Mhm.
So we're gonna try to bring something like in the middle of class,
Mhm.
middle of it, not too high and not too low.
That's a good analysis.
I love it.
You guys are right in the middle. I have a really good picture of this. And now we kind of buried the lead. It's like, okay, when can we go? And that's what we're here to tell you. You're going to tell us the opening date of Sakatanoya.
Yes, we are gonna grand opening on December 8th.
December 8th, folks. You heard it here. Sakatanoya on the Del Mar Loop, something St. Louis hasn't seen before. All you can drink cocktails. I can't wait. Thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us. This was really good, really exciting. Welcome to St. Louis, and we're really glad you're here.
Thank you, George.
Wow, you gotta love that guy.
He is ambitious, and I love it. I think that's the artist in him. You know, he just has to go for this crazy.
He's excited,
concept.
and at the same time, he's pretty matter of fact about this whole thing. And that brings us to today's micro rant. Today's discussion of cocktail bars reminded me of an occurrence involving cocktails that sometimes happens in restaurants. When your table gets seated, everybody gets a food menu, but oftentimes only one cocktail menu gets doled out for the whole table. Now, we understand the reason for issuing one wine list because sometimes those are these giant unwieldy books, but dare I say, more cocktails might get sold and sold more quickly if the entire party had menus and we could study them a bit instead of making a snap judgment and handing that menu off to a table mate.
I couldn't agree more. I always feel that if I'm the first one to get it, and a lot of times there's 10 different things and they have 10 different ingredients. So it really takes a minute to go through it.
Well, it's a lot to digest
It
because they're
is.
complicated a lot of the
And
time.
then you feel like you're hogging the menu and then other people want it. But if you're on the other side of it, you don't have it yet. The servers probably come to your table twice in the time it takes to get the thing passed around. And at this point, you're waiting for your drink.
Considering the profitability of cocktails and the current state of the industry, you'd think that a restaurant would make every attempt to generate those sales. And, hey, this is just an idea, folks. We're just trying to help restaurants because we want restaurants to succeed.
And we want more cocktails.
We're going to leave it right there with more cocktails. We're going to go get a cocktail right now, folks. Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us and share with your friends. We put out new episodes every other week where you'll always see links in the show notes for everything you heard about today. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow along on Instagram at St. Louis Mag and at George Mahey and Cheryl A. Bear.
If you loved what you heard, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And for more of the freshest coverage on the local restaurant and culinary scene, subscribe to our dining newsletters.
Best dishes, and see you next time.
Arch Eats is a production of St. Louis Magazine. Audio editing by Brendan Shanahan and produced by Kylie Green Lemoyne.